on White when things start to go awry, sometimes from the bottom lane, sometimes from the mid lane. We'll see if it happens again. We'll see if Royal Club can get under the skin of Samsung White one more time to take it to a Game 5. We said it is a tough task. They need 3 in a row. So far they have 1 of those wins. The bans begin. Jace gets taken out again. Too much control from him through these games. We are going to see most of the champions from last game left up once again.
Very interesting ban phase here. Again, on the blue side, White is able to get Rengar because the Jace is smartly banned away. It's the one thing that had been proven that Corn can't play, but Pawn absolutely can. I was kind of expecting a Ryze first pick. However, Looper will very confidently pick Rumble into that. And Ryze is no surprise. Braum also somewhat blocks the Twitch pick. I really like that from Royal Club. Maybe we will see the Trist, as they said earlier.
Yeah, I mean, we actually did see it in the fight at the top, funnily enough, the fight that Samsung White pushed them back with, but there was a lot of Twitch's damage blocked out by Braum in that one, and they were able to lock Twitch down. See if that comes into effect here. Expecting him to go Twitch, probably. He's been a champion that's just worked so well for him. Especially, I mean, you look at his stats coming into the final, 7-0. That's before we even started off today, of course, with the first 2 wins under their belt. It will, however, as I'm talking about Twitch, be Corgi Janna. So just throw everything out the window that I just said.
Well, it's because Samsung White is making an adaptation right now. They are changing their style of play. They still have the Rengar synergy with Janna, who can get the shield while stealth to make an appreciable increase in his damage. And now Royal Club doesn't have a mid-game matching 80 carry to go up against. Add that to the fact that Rengar's mid-game with Dandy is so strong, they might be tunneling a little bit into one of their only available strategies left, which would be a death ball with Tristana.
We did see the Lulu played before. They had that save composition coming out with Mundo on the top lane for Cola. So they may switch it around. Does Uzi take the Twitch? Does he pick out some of Im's medicine on this one? He switches back to that comfort pick, and he is going to lock it in, scaling with Ryze throughout the game, and a little safety from Lulu here. So that Lulu pick, 2-0 for Corn. See if he can make it 3-0.
Yeah, it's been good for them in the top lane, in the mid lane, but not been at all impressed with any top lane Lulus, really, that we've seen so far. So will that mean that Corn gets his hands on it and Cola will have Ryze? Ryze up until today had really been a strong pick for them. On the other side, we're actually going to see Kassadin locked in for the top lane for Looper, and then they take Orianna as well for Pawn.
Pawn is not playing an assassin, which he has done through pretty much the entire World Championship. They do throw some nice mobility in the top lane there. It's a little bit of an adjustment. I was expecting something like Talon, but he didn't want to pick it into Lulu. And of course, the return of Pantheon.
The return of Pantheon, indeed. We'll be seeing the plays being dropped from the sky here from Insect if he can start to get behind the lines of White or just make the turret dive, something that Royal Club starts to go throughout the game with the safety of that Lulu's wild growth. It's something they can really get down and dirty with in the beginning of this game. We do see that Mata has that Janna. He's going to be flying around the map trying to create opportunities for everybody in lane, but I don't think you pointed out, it may not be Pawn's lane. He's not on something that can quickly zero out his lane as usual.
Another thing we have to be careful of here is that you've got a Kassadin to jump away, you've got a Corki to Valkyrie away.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for those man drops to be super successful, I think. It's going to be obviously all about placement, as it always is with them. I question whether Insect can land them successfully enough, even though they won that Pantheon game. The man drops weren't exactly the biggest things in it.
It's really hard to do, especially against mobile teams, and the added move speed from Janna and Orianna will make it easier to get away. But honestly, this was probably the most interesting pick and ban phase we've had all series, because they are continually adapting to each other. Even if the bans have the slightest of tweaks, it's having huge ripple effects on the rest of the pick and ban phase. The fact that Trist is in this game, the fact we see another mid-game Lulu, but a matching mid-game attempt with the Pantheon, I'm just really excited to see if Royal Club can continue this journey.
I think everybody's excited that we have a Game 4 in this one, and again, we ask you to turn to Twitter once more, or maybe even 2 times more, depending on this result, to vote for who you think will win the series, the Summoners Cup, and become the world champions. Tweet hashtag SSWin, SSW win, or SHR win to @LOL Esports. And we'll see where the numbers stand shortly. Right now, the players stand very tall. Both teams after that, like you said, Joe, does it shake the confidence of Samsung White, or they come out even stronger? Right now, they stand on the rift, and the game 4 begins.
And honestly, Riv, it's back to basics. Let's see the level 1 from Samsung White, because they have typically been so good at reading the enemy here at level 1. Can they get to the first ward in time? Can they catch Royal Club as they try and invade? And again, they spot out their entire team.
Did they see? Yes. Did they see go down was the question, and yes was indeed the answer. So Royal Club, they've come in here, they've taken away that ward, which will limit somewhat the vision. Actually, a ward has been put on that ramp there at the top. Didn't quite see if they pinged that one, so we'll see exactly how this one all works out at level 1. Samsung White didn't do anything at level 1 in the last game, which is actually bucked the trend, because White have been making level 1 plays throughout the tournament.
Really something that has set Royal Club back. We were expecting to see some 3 buffs here from White, but
right.
It seems like they've kind of absolutely been holding themselves back here in the early game.
I mean, even just a little bit, there's some very aggressive wards that were placed by both sides, and I really wonder what type of laning situations we're going to see out of this one, because in-depth knowledge of the starts from these teams will be granted with those wards. It's all about how quickly they can react to them. And in a fluid game with many lane swaps, we have seen time and again, that is where Samsung White is comfortable. And that is what we're probably going to be seeing in this match.
We do see Korn still taking the teleport onto Lulu. Pawn with a different play for Orianna on Ignite, but they're not going to meet here as the invade goes down, so some of the spells should be saved, and blue should be taken by Royal.
So it's actually really interesting what just happened, because even though Samsung White, even though Royal Club was not seen invading the blue buff, both of their own buffs were warded, so Samsung White can surmise which buff they started on. Expect Dandy to actually try and run straight up for that next blue buff, but Insec will try and match him there because they don't actually have a numbers advantage. We'll see if he can beat him to the spot. This could be huge. It could be a 3 buff for Insec if he does this right. Dandy on full ferocity, however.
Dandy going through there will drop a ward in position. Will they pull the mid laners away from this one? Or will Dandy stick around? He's actually going towards this bottom lane. Korn still level 1.
He has to know it's coming.
And TP was used. This would be a fantastic time to be able to kill him off. Actually, Dandy will back away. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Imp and Matt are going aggressive here onto Uzi and Zero. Both of them fall into about half HP. In the end, no kills, but aggressive stuff from Samsung White up top.
And towards that blue buff, it was the help from Korn to come in. The 3 buffs start coming in for Royal Club to begin this one.
Maybe. Dandy's on his way back over,
dead set.
And depending on the power difference in the mid lane and top lane, they're going to be able to get that double buff anyway. So throughout all the potential outplay from Royal Club and all the time they spent to run in there, they actually can't get the 3 buffs. So some really intense back and forth going here on a map-wide level.
Crazy, crazy stuff. 2 reds for Dandy, 2 blues for Insec. Why does that leave them? Well, it leaves Dandy on the top side of the map. At a point to dive, probably not at this stage, and he's going to get back onto farm. Let's not forget game 2 with that Rengar, where he spent a lot of time early in the jungle just to get himself up as quickly as possible and hit level 6. That double stealth caused a few problems for Royal Club. It's not going to be quite the same this time around, though. They have Imp on Corki. However, with him and Looper in there, there's a lot of mobility.
Yeah, it's still going to be a very devastating assassination attempt when Dandy goes in for stuff. Cola also had that great game in Game 3. At the moment, it looks like Insec is hoping for a counter gank, but it appears like Dandy is in farm mode, and Insec is going to have to wait a while if he wants that one to get set up.
Well, we'll see whose farm mode matters more. Uzi going in pretty hard here with Zero. They could get the lockdown and concussive blows. Very nice. Winter's Bite only adding 3 on that one with Uzi coming out strong on the end. The Braum really working out for Zero here. Good room prison, forced to flash. Wait a minute, Imp, the shot, one more, the Ignite burns, and so does Imp. He goes down and across the map. Insect picks one up for himself with the flash engage. As you can see, it's down.
What a start for Royal Club. So they have that incredibly complex level 1 that trades blue for blue and red for red, but then not only does Insect get first blood with the superior gank to Dandy, the duo lane that again was actually in a 2v2, the one thing that I thought Samsung White was going to avoid at all costs, cost them a kill in a 1v1.
This is again down bottom and double lock of thought Looper was close enough to the tower, but
turret shot.
He flashed it.
Yeah. It's the Pantheon turret dives right there. He blocks the first turret shot. The turret will not save you against Pantheon in the early game. Rise versus Kassadin. Early on, Rise does have a good amount of lockdown potential, and maybe they can get Cola going once again. Now, White initiates the lane swap game.
And we see Uzi already with the pickaxe. Insect coming out with another sweeper. Something we see White do a lot, if they even get behind a little, is try to place a lot of forward wards. We already saw that pinged out just now by Zero. Mata tried to get into a blue buff ward. That'll be cleared out the next time Insect's in the bottom. And right now they have great information to keep this advantage. 6 minutes in, 2-0 for Royal Club.
Insect and his pocket jungle picks. Won every game so far with those strange ones, and will it be another one here for Pantheon? We'll find out. Still a way to go in this one. It is, however, 1,000 gold lead that Royal Club sit on here. A dream start in game number 4. After looking like they were really on the ropes after 2, well, they win game 3 and are now ahead in the earliest of early games. How will that turn around? You mentioned pickaxe against what is just a longsword really in that bottom lane. Problems for Imp and Mata.
Zero's Braum, very powerful. If they can actually win the lane with Tristana against Corki, that has so many rippling consequences for the rest of this game, as well. Rise is so much stronger than Kassadin right now. And Twitter believes that's for sure. 50-50 on the fan vote. Twitter
believes indeed. You were saying Zero's Braum very, very strong. These are the first 2 games we've actually seen him come out with it, and he is playing exquisitely on this champion.
And with all of that in mind, and the 50-50 fan vote and the 1,000 gold lead, never have I ever seen Dandy's Rengar hit level 6 and not make something good happen. So there is still a lot of playmaking potential for Samsung White here. Razor, no boots of mobility yet for Dandy, but watch out, because that is the point where Samsung White wants to take back control of the series.
And especially when you've got Zero and Uzi ahead in that bottom lane, feeling confident, that's exactly the time when Dandy can come straight in there, stealth up through the lane and cause you problems. There he is, level 6 now hit for Dandy. Will it be boots of mobility as he comes back into base? And then off he will. Boost some mobility here for Dandy.
And a great play by Royal Club as they switch down bottom to keep that pickaxe matched up against him. They said, we don't want to do that. He's going to be way ahead, but they made sure it's happened. A 6 to a 5 and a 4 here. Plays possibly being made. We do have Insect on the bottom side, and man drop is up. That Grand Skyfall could be used, but Rengar just on the wing.
It's such a guessing game, actually, for these 2 junglers. They're 2 of the best junglers for ganking through wards. Who will jump first? Insect, he's thinking about it. Here it comes.
Man dropped down to the
pretty
bottom.
close.
They're going to dive in. It was the target here. They've exhausted Uzi. Insect on the back. They're trying to get in. But Zero's taking over. Sorry, he's going to go down as well. Insect low. Insect goes down. Now Uzi in trouble. There's the TP. Actually cancelled, but it's probably for the best. Uzi's going to go down. A shockwave will add to it, and they turn it around 3 for 1.
That was an amazing Howling Gale from Mata to completely win that fight.
And now they can take the dragon. That is Dandy, the god of counter ganking. He predicted Insect's jump. He was there. He caught them between the turrets, and now they're trying for dragon.
Going to be very close. Korn doing what he can. Close in the fact that Korn could get killed here. Close for him. The Bitter Lance is down. That's pretty much the power he has. An easy smite in, but they don't know where Royal Club is coming from on this. He tries to keep him in range. Can he get the help? Picks down for another Glitter Lance to Dandy, but everybody makes it out alive with Imp coming in for a little bit of backup.
Questionable flash there by Korn when there was no kill to be had. They were going to be backing anyway. Now he doesn't have that for the next time Dandy decides for a gank.
Check out this Howling Gale. Stop.
Mata had it timed just right. He knew the angle Insect was coming in on, and he stopped him from being able to jump on him. And then Dandy came in at exactly the right time. The teleport was honestly late to make an impact, and it was very good that he canceled that, because it would have been yet another death for Starhorn Royal Club. As it was a 3-for-1. They lost the Dragon, and they lost control of the early game.
Not only that, the exhaust that came onto Uzi basically made that a 3-on-2 once they were in there. Uzi's running around waiting for it to actually time out, and by the time that did happen, he couldn't do anything in that fight. It leaves us at 3-for-3, and Dandy is coming back down towards the bottom side of the map. The drop is not ready just yet for Insect. These two men been fairly quiet. Cole, you can see, though, trying to keep the pressure up. He's actually behind on farm currently over the Kassadin.
He did lose some efficiency when he had to cancel that teleport, so that's one trip to the lane he could not get. Dandy is putting so much time into this next gank. He was waiting at the turret 30 seconds before his ultimate would come off cooldown just so he can gank immediately. I think they were hoping for a 4-man gank because Looper's teleport was up as well. But yeah, you can just see, just based off that one counter gank, kind of like Game 3 turn when Samsung White had the failed dive in the mid lane. Game 4 may have turned with that counter gank from Dandy and the rest of Samsung White.
White trying to see if they can figure out where Insec is. Simple defensive wards keeps him safe against Looper as he roams down towards the Wraith camp. Looper back to lane now as Colo is trying to get a push on. Insec going for another Grand Skyfall. Ping in the mid lane. Pun is going to have to flash out of this one if he doesn't want to get hit. Could be popped in. Wait, they get the wild throw. They get the kill. It's going to be Looper and Dandy that are there right away, though, with the teleport. Dandy was already on point for the counter gank. Mada on the roam as usual. Double kill for Looper's Kassadin.
That's what they were waiting for with that teleport advantage from Kassadin. They don't necessarily care about predicting where the Insect gank is coming from. They just wait for it, and they're fast enough, and they have the tools to just respawn. Even though Pawn did go down, it is more kills for Samsung White and 100% kill participation from Dandy.
And that shockwave from Pawn as well, holding them back just that little bit longer so they could keep on going through. It leaves them 2,000 gold almost in the lead. And Imp and Mata now, after what was a decidedly scary start, then the turnaround right underneath their own tower, are going to be feeling more confident here with that Sheen now and the workings of the Phage for Imp. On the other side, it's an average played second for Uzi, similar path to what he's been taking this entire time, really.
Yeah, and this is actually the worst point in time for him to have to be powering up. If they had that edge, they could not give up that turret dive that Insect gave, because now Imp has kind of gained the upper hand while Uzi has that Avarice Blade, and the rest of the playmaking is just not there to support Royal Club. I wonder if Insect will be dissuaded from ulting it again since his ganks have gone so wrong. And honestly though, that is a mindset they cannot take against Samsung White. Insect needs to keep trying. Now Royal Club has the teleport advantage with Cola's Rise, and they would have to try and make a play.
I was going to say, not using the sweepers, and they use them, but that ward right behind Red Buff has helped Royal Club out so much. Just a simple vision ward, seeing everything and allowing them to know where to clear. Insect clears that one out. One's going to die. They'll know they have a new ward up in that, except White knows about it now, and they will probably not take that path again until they have a sweeper up. Imp still trying to build up that Phage, staying in lane for quite some time, but keeping it to the turret. He can't be aggressed on too much. See Mata still on the roam, trying to create opportunities, trying to get these wards in. Places for Looper to teleport right onto a pink ward. That'll be cleared out immediately.
So, Dragon in 140, this is the big thing. Zero will do a good job of clearing up. There are 3 pink wards on that right side.
So, the Rod of Ages that has been completed by Looper is really huge for this next potential mid-game Dragon fight. As well, Mata's Janna will be so critical in splitting up this team fight and resetting the initiation from Starhorn Royal Club. They need to split Insect after he ults in with Pantheon. Power spikes have also been reached in with the Trinity Force on Imp, and vision control is also in the favor of Samsung White. The one thing that Royal Club has is a teleport advantage with Cola, but that they have to wait a minute for.
Bit of a teleport advantage there, possibly a Skyfall to be used, and you can see the pink wards being placed in certain positions, so he knows he's not trying to do a grand Skyfall while he is in vision. But actually, he's hatching this one right now at the blue buff, and it's going to be dead quite soon. If he sees that, he knows he's going to be on it. 5-4, 14.5. Doesn't look like we're going to play out of this one.
Yeah, well, Royal Club wants to get a fight before the Dragon, except it's a little bit telegraphed now that they know where Insect is. I also have to add that that is probably the earliest blue elixir I have seen someone buy
both sides.
Corn has a blue elixir, and so does Pawn. That just shows you how paramount this mid-game power spike game is throughout the entire World Championship, but specifically in this game, with how close it is, and the Dragon spawning in 10 seconds.
They've made the call. Looper has actually walked down from that top lane with not having his teleport available, knowing that Caller had his. He had to make the move now. They're going to be there right as this Dragon spawns. Where are they going to go? Are they going to head straight towards the bottom lane? Looper has been spotted thanks to that ward on the ramp. They'll spot the pink ward as they come through as well. But will they sweep out the one ward that's actually giving Royal Club the vision? I don't think he meant to ward there. That was
I feel like Royal Club has to back away from this one, but they teleport into contest. It is so dangerous, and he's cut off.
Not a canceled teleport. Looper puts himself right in the front. That Rodamage is charging up, so he's pretty healthy, and he can take a good hit. What a shockwave from Pawn. Gets the damage they want, controls the fight, and they walk towards the brush, where Dandy is even stronger, and the fight cleanly going in Samsung White's favor. The Dragon is only going to be an afterthought here for White as they get it uncontested on the Royal Club ace.
That may be the fight that decides the 2014 World Champion right there, because Samsung White knew they had the power. They found the right fight. They split up Royal Club when Royal Club needed to stay together, and they just ran down every single member individually. They take everything.
Dragons outer middle turret. Let's watch that one again, though. The TP coming in from Kohler cost him early on.
Without vision control, Royal Club had no business trying to take this fight. They also used their Glacial Fissure on pretty much nothing. Uzi jumped in straight to an exhaust right there, so he was ineffective. Everything for Samsung White was beneficial right there. Kassadin thrives in spread out team fights. Janna thrives in creating spread out team fights. And also, vision control is always important. Samsung White had everything. It all came together, and that gold lead appears out of nowhere, 6,000 strong.
White's quickly back from base to save a turret. They don't even lose anything on this one, but a bit of health and summoner spells to win the fight. 10-4, 17 minutes in. They've just gotten themselves a 6,000 gold lead, and when White has a gold lead, it's pretty hard to get back from that. We've seen Royal Club kind of push and waver those gold leads, but never to come back from such a big one. Him now, you can see, putting the pressure on with Mata in the bottom lane, and they are just acting in full control. But here comes the Grand Skyfall.
Who are they going to go for? They're already out of range here. Matt beating Uzi back as Looper will even join in there on the bottom side of the map. Will they keep pushing this one back? Pawn is causing problems for Korn in the middle lane, and now Dandy is starting to loop around.
Here he comes. He's in stealth.
There's the alert. They know he's there, but they don't know who he's on. He eats Uzi right away. Looper's going to be able to give a little bit. Dandy gets the heal, and he flashes out perfectly. Here comes Pawn from the side, and he's just dribbling around everybody. The ball movement is incredible. There's another one. He can dissonance as he walks over it, and he does so. Zero goes down as well. Another turret coming in. They are getting so much at once. Their spikes are incredible.
We were wondering if there was going to be a lack in confidence and conviction from Samsung White after dropping Game 3. Definitely not. As soon as they got that Dragon fight, they turn it on once again. You give them an inch, they take 2 miles and the World Championship, because they are so in control right now.
It's not a small lead, that's for sure. 8,000 gold with less than 20 minutes on the clock. And if you look down the items, well, that's where the problem gets even scarier. Needlessly large rod for Pawn. We touched on Looper earlier, who had that Rod of Ages finish. He's going to have a Zhonya's in just the coming moments. There's a Ghost Blade for Dandy. And, yeah, his Feral Flare just dinged as well.
At 18.5 minutes, with how much he's just been everywhere in this game, he is the most dangerous Rengar in the world. That is not even an argument for anyone to make. 100% kill participation, 19 minutes in. Everywhere he goes, good things happen. And they have Royal Club completely contained.
And it helps so much that that top and mid lane are so versatile. We see these picks coming out of Looper now. Pawn, his first Orianna of the entire World's tournament from groups to now, and he's still playing like he played it every day. Absolutely amazing. Still with that gold lead, 13-4 as they start maxing out more kills, and they may just do what they did in the group stages, as shortest games with the highest KDAs. They look to do it again. It seems like Royal Club's win only angered the Giant.
Yeah, it looks that way, that's for sure. I mean, 13 kills to the 4 of Royal Club. The outer layer of turrets all gone. Full-on Dragon control. and a bunch of kills. Look
Where's
at
he
this.
going?
Dandy, Ghost Blade with the ultimate. He's going to dive on it. Take a look at the damage. He's going to get put on the kill with the auto attack there right at the end. That leaves them with a 5 versus 4 with the bottom lane pushing up towards the inner turret. A free blue buff as well for Dandy.
Yeah. And it's an extra 52 attack damage he gets when the Janus shield goes on him. It's creating so much more threat. They're just going to keep the pedal to the metal.
That's the shockwave, really giving them the ability to take the turret and then some. We see Cola running in from the side. Glacial Fisher across. It does hit Pond. He's on the double buff Oriana though, so he can keep spitting out the damage, keep spitting out the AoE. It pushes Zero off to the side and takes him out pretty much by himself. You can only see a bit of assist coming from both the mid lane and the support. And Royal Club is looking for solace on their base. 20 minutes in here as their inhibitor's about to go down.
Inhibi's gone here. There's no way they can hold on to it. Looper, who's so strong. Zonya's done. Just dives towards the back of the turret, and everyone has to just get away from that. They've got this wave pushing up the bottom side of the map. Looks like, though, that they